accelerate, collapse, rebuild, and rise. Hey, you guys, it's Alyssa Rushton with your April 2025 energy updates for sensitives, intuitives, and amazing awakened ones like you. Welcome. I have been off the last couple months because of my speaking and teaching schedule, and I was on the verge of not doing these energy updates anymore because I thought, do you need them? Really, do you? And then I heard from enough of you that said, where are you? Can we get the energy updates going again? Here I am, I'm back, and it's April. And in this month of April, there's some beautiful energies coming, and there's also some really tough energies coming. It's one of those months where you get to ride the wave. And so let's dive into the energies for April. And like all the videos that I put out, go ahead and close down your eyes right now and choose a number between 1 and 5. And maybe you choose all 5, maybe you choose just a couple. And put your comment down below. Let me know what number you're going to choose, because that lets us both know which energy you're most going to be working with this month. So let's dive in. Let's talk about energy number 1 for the month of April. So this first energy is really high highs and really low lows, and you get to choose which one you encounter. Now, this is so fascinating how this is showing up, because you are going to be given a circumstance, a situation where literally you will see, oh, do I want to choose this path or do I want to choose this path? One choice is going to take you down a low low, and one choice is going to take you on a high high. And what's really amazing is you get to choose it. You get to decide what frequency bandwidth you want to learn the lesson on. And just like when you were back in school, remember how you had that teacher that was really joyful and amazing and made learning really fun? And then remember that teacher that was pretty horrible and didn't like kids in the first place and didn't really want to be there and made learning pretty horrible? Well, guess what? We are here on this planet to learn lessons and grow through things. But right now, you're being given the opportunity. Which pathway do you want to choose? And this is so powerful and so potent, because literally you're given this green light go energy, and the green light go energy will send you shooting forward down whatever path you choose. And remember, this universe is a very loving universe. It is super supportive, and it wants you to learn in the ways that you prefer to learn. So how do we tell the universe the ways we prefer to learn? Is we give our attention to things. We energize these things, and we basically are liking, we're clicking, we're subscribing to the algorithm of that choice. So if there's something in your world that you're not preferring right now, and it's kind of a gnarly teacher, we basically have to take our attention off of that, and we have to put our attention on what we want to focus on instead. But with this energy this month, this high highs and low lows, you actually are likely going to have a choice point. So this literally might be that you have a pain in your body, and the old you might have gotten a surgery or gotten a gnarly procedure, and the new you is like, actually, I need to exercise more. Actually, I need to strengthen my body. This literally was me. So let me tell you, because I think you'll relate to this story. I was in Sedona, I was speaking at a conference, and I was carrying this really heavy box filled with my favorite Lotus Way frequency sprays. And I leaned forward and I didn't bend properly. And I had also been not working out in the gym for about a month and a half. And I pulled my back pretty bad, to the point to where I thought I might have to cancel giving my talks. Now, here's the thing. The old me, the me back years ago, would have opted for a back surgery. I would have sought that out. I would have sought doctors who would have formed that pathway for me. And I would have taken painkillers, and I would have said, oh, I need to lay flat and prop my legs up and be still and not do anything. The new me actually knows differently, and I immediately went into, I need to stretch my back. So I went and I stretched my back, and I knew that instead of painkillers, I needed something called arnica cream. That is like a miracle worker for sprains and pulls and all those things. So I rubbed arnica on my back, and then I asked the angels for support, and I said, angels, thank you for helping me get through this weekend, because I was doing energy tune-ins and energy work, and I couldn't take and gulp down Advil every day, especially not on the days that I was speaking. So do you see the different pathways? So this is something likely that you might get a choice at doing this month. And it doesn't have to be about physical injury at all. It could be something totally different. Maybe it's that you are looking at getting a new house, a new place to live. And someone offers you a place and they're like, hey, do you want to rent my place? But you actually know that doing that isn't going to be good for you. You actually been trying to break ties with that person, and them getting you in their house would actually be a bad thing for you. And so you say no to that. And then almost in the same moment, or maybe even in the moments before, you have another opportunity to go rent this other house. So ultimately, this energy of high highs and low lows is about you choosing with your consciousness, which frequency do you want to be on? By the way, there's no right path with this. Just like the teachers back in school, there's not a right or a wrong way to learn, but there probably is a more beneficial way to learn that'll make you feel a little different. And so here's what I also want to share about this energy, is that this high highs and low lows energy is based on what you've been learning through since 2020. When 2020 happened, you've been learning through things, and you've been growing through things, and you've been seeing yourself in different ways, and you've been having to start to do things a little differently. And so these situations that are going to come up for you in April is really based on all of the learning and growth you've done over the course of the last 5 years. And now in April, you're going to get chances to move into your highest highs, and you're going to get chances to avoid the low lows. So it's a very choiceful circumstances. It's very choiceful moments. It's really asking to work with energy. So if you feel lower energy coming in, you can simply stop and do this process that we teach inside the Divine Light Energy Healers Academy, which, by the way, if you're not on the wait list for our fall 2025 Divine Light Academy, definitely go in the comments below and get on the wait list. But you can just simply do this quick process. So first, notice the low energies and say hello to it. Say, hello, lower energies. I see you. I notice you're there. Second, ask it what it needs. What do you need? I can feel this lower frequency coming in. What do you need from me? Then ask for your angels. Ask for high frequency support. Ask your angels and guides to come in and help you pull up, help you lift up. So you can say something like, angels and guides, help me to transform and shift this lower frequency and help to put me on a different trajectory that's going to help me learn lessons in a more joyful, easeful, new earth timeline sort of a way. Okay, because we do have these timelines converging, and while there is not one or two timelines, there's billions of timelines. There are some collective layers here. And so one of the layers is the 3D Earth timeline, which is learning through fear and lack and scarcity and domination or subjugation. Okay, so we don't want to learn through those things. Those things are not fun, and you actually don't have to learn through those things. Then there's the new earth frequencies that we get to learn through, which is fun and boundaries and play and pleasure and joy and expansion and teaching. So do you feel how those frequencies are really different? So you get to choose the frequency that you want to learn on, and you get to ask the angels, the guides, your ascended masters, whoever it is that you work with, to help you pull into the frequency that you most want to work with. Okay, let's talk about energy number 2. This is collapsing outdated realities. Now, here's how I see this showing up for you specifically, you light work and light leaders, is you might be taking a look at your business or your life or your living situation and going, I've done so much growth and healing. What actually works for me now? You might have, let's take your business, for example. You might have accidentally built a business that sort of replicated an old version of you unconsciously. And now you find yourself in your business and you think, oh gosh, I love my business. My business is doing really well, but it sort of replicated what I had in the past, and I'm over busy and I'm overworked and I don't have enough time to be in nature. And so you might have to rethink it a little bit. So you're collapsing outdated realities. You're closing down old ways of doing things that don't work for you any longer. You're looking at your life, your physical structures, your body, your home, and going, what works for me now? What in my new frequency now works for me? On the collective level, we are absolutely collapsing down some outdated structures. Think malls, think luxury shopping. A lot of those old ways of being are collapsing. Funny story for you. I was out at the beach and one of my beach friends came up and he was wearing this shell necklace with a big, huge shell on it. And I said, oh my gosh, that's an incredible shell. And he said, yeah, my grandfather passed it down to me. And he goes, it's the new Rolex. And I just laughed because it's true, right? In the new earth, we value different things and we're valuing things that really matter. And so in the new earth, it's less about what kind of handbag you have or what kind of watch or car you have, and more about the frequency of what we're wearing and what we're having and who we're being in the world. So some of those old structures that was about how much money can you spend on something or how glamorous can you look, we actually are now seeing through the facade of that. And it's interesting because the closer you live with nature, the less those things work. So for example, in Hawaii, you don't really have the need for a designer handbag because you know that the elements are going to eat that leather and melt it on down. So it's not really necessary, right? You just are going to live more in alignment with nature. You're going to be barefoot a little more often. You're going to have clothes that are more natural fibers, not fast fashion. So a lot of this stuff that is based in an old construct of how much money can I spend? How can I look on the outside versus what frequency am I being on the inside? That's the secret key, because ultimately people can now see beyond what's on the outside. I'm laughing, but it doesn't really matter what kind of clothes you have or how perfect your face is or how perfect your body is. People can feel your frequency. And so really none of those things matter. None of those outward things matter. It is an inside job. And now more than ever, we are realizing that. And now more than ever, the frequency on the planet is supporting that. And so you're going to see the frequency on the planet actually crumbling down those old structures so that they just are not here anymore. We are literally creating something very new. Now, this collapse of the outdated realities is happening simultaneously while you're birthing new realities. So it's happening all at once, and it can feel a little jarring at times, but don't worry. This is why you're here. You're literally here to start to vision in what you want to bring. I was shown back in 2018 that soon the new currency is going to be our heart frequency. And I was shown that literally we're going to make money and receive money and share money based on the frequencies of our heart. Now, I personally think we're about 10 years away from that here on planet Earth, but it's something that we're moving into. So these outdated realities are crumbling while the new ones are forming, and it looks sort of like, in my mind's eye, I see it sort of like a machine that's got cogs that's doing a little bit of this. So if you're seeing stuff in your reality that's crumbling down, ask yourself, what vision am I bringing in instead? What new things would I love to see instead? Okay, because your consciousness matters. What you give your energy and attention to actually forms that in the field. It's just like your YouTube feed or your Instagram feed or your TikTok feed. Whatever you're liking, clicking, subscribing on in the algorithm of your devices is what you get to see more of. And so how your reality works, you live in a hologram. You live in this big, huge holographic field of information. And what you like, click, subscribe, AKA what you give your attention to, is what the universe is going to show you more of. So as things are collapsing, you can take your attention off of that and start to focus on instead, ooh, what am I doing here? What am I doing to contribute? What am I visioning into reality? What's your vision at night as you go to sleep? I just imagine these beautiful healing centers and crystal cities and people living from their hearts. Don't laugh at me, but I picture the Care Bears. Did you guys? I know. Did you guys watch the Care Bears when you were little and they beam these big rainbows out of their hearts? That's what I visualize. I just visualize people as Care Bears. And I truly do believe that what we generate, the picture on the inside, then pictures on the outside. I believe it because back in the day when I couldn't walk and all I could do was lie in bed, and yes, I had a walker to get around, but I didn't use it very often. I just laid in bed mostly. What I did to change my reality is I literally laid in bed and I visioned myself walking with the sunshine on my shoulders. So why do I envision the Care Bears now? Is because I want to energize a world where we are living from our hearts, where we are so filled with light that it pours out of us and we are living in a vastly different way. So that's one thing that you can do. If this energy number 2, that collapse of outdated realities resonated with you, because you're actually here to be molding the new. You're here to be building the new as the old outdated reality collapses. And it's kind of like they keep showing me this picture, and it's interesting that this is the picture I get, but it's like the time when remember when we had the rotary telephone in our houses? We all had them. And then all of a sudden, basically no one has them now. So it's this old, outdated reality where people still are having this outdated thing in their house. And we're hitting a point where we're not going to have that thing anymore. So it's a wonderful time. And for people who are still very much living their everyday life in 3D reality, meaning they feel a victim of circumstances. Their common phrase is, this happened to me, they did that to me, this, happened in my world. They are going to struggle through this time. And what I know about that is that the reason for the struggle is because it's an outdated mode, it's outmoded, and it's inviting them to step up. The more you are in your new frequency, the more you help other people shift around you. So be like a Care Bear, do your visioning at night, and it will help you. And maybe that's not your vision of the reality. Maybe your vision isn't Care Bears. Maybe it's something entirely different. So remember, there's not one reality. We have 8 billion different realities, and you can actually see that in operation out there. I actually see it a lot when I bring clients here to work with me in Hawaii. I'm in one reality bubble, and my reality works very differently than most people's reality bubbles. And they come here and they see how my reality bubble works, and it's jarring to them. They're like, I didn't know life could be like this. And so we have to remember that on this planet, there are 8 billion different realities, and you are the projector of your reality bubble, and you're mingling in with other reality projectors around you at the same time. How you're going to experience your reality is whoever's projector is the strongest wins out. Okay, so what are you giving your attention to is what gets projected out the strongest. Which leads me to energy number 3, no one right path. Oh gosh, there is no one right path. And along those lines, there is this whole thing in spirituality right now, if you've been on this journey for a while, where there might be a little bit of spiritual racism. These ones are good, those ones are bad. These people are doing it wrongly, these ones aren't. You want to shy away from that. There is no wrong path. The people here who are doing some of the worst stuff on the planet are actually here to be teachers of you. And so when you are in your life and someone's behaving badly, the question to bring yourself back to is, what is this person teaching me? What is this situation teaching me about myself? What am I trying to learn? Am I teaching myself that I've got to do things differently? Am I teaching myself that I really get reactive when people behave a certain way? Remember that all of this is just information coming into your field. And what we're trying to learn down here are a couple very basic themes of unconditional love, being able to create in instantaneous mode, and being able to live from our heart emotional center, and at the same time utilize our logic centers as well, like utilize them both together and be divine creator beings. So when we are remembering that there's no right path, there's no wrong path, we are all on a path and we get multiple paths to learn. And so right now, one of the things that's happening on planet is people have made choices and decisions that put them on a course for a certain path. And some of those pathways are pretty tough right now. You know, we're in what I call the sandwich years. We're in the meat of the sandwich, 2025 and 2026. We have some tougher stuff happening because we, as a collective and as individuals, made choices that for whatever reason we're moving through, and some of those choices are putting certain people on tougher pathways. But remember, there's no wrong pathway. They will learn through this. This is not your only lifetime. You're actually running several concurrent lifetimes all at once right now. So when you pop out of the body and pop into consciousness, you understand that, oh, it's not just this one thing that's happening right now. You're learning multidimensionally. So with that, remember that you're not meant to grow like everybody else. You're not even on the same lesson plan as everybody else. And that you might be on a really extreme lesson plan and somebody else might barely have any lessons in this lifetime. Some people are on the lives where they wanted to come down and learn the lessons, but then they thought, well, yeah, actually, I'm not going to do that in this lifetime. I'm just going to learn like a little mini bit of the lesson. And I'm going to do it again and again because I want to really get it in a different way. So we have all these lessons we can learn and all these different teachers and ways that we can learn it. And so right now we are on our path. So there's no right path. There's no wrong path. And at any moment in time, you can say, I choose to do it differently. Let's talk about energy number 4. This is the divine human coming online and a surge of galactic energies. Whoa, I'm so excited about this energy because you're probably feeling more and more every day like your divine self. The goal with this time is to become divine in physical form, to recognize your God state, your divine state. We're learning new things about the earth even. We're learning that, oh, guess what? There's all this stuff underneath the pyramids that we didn't, well, you probably did realize it was there, but most people didn't. You probably know that the version of history that we were told about this earth is not at all accurate, true, or real. It's just what you've been told. And we're in the process of this global awakening that we are actually divine in physical form and that we have all of these galactic friends that we are now starting to collaborate with. Now, I will say with these galactic energies surging through, if you see lights in the sky, that's likely not a galactic energy. Your galactic family usually comes to you in the form of frequency, and they will often come to you while you're outside stargazing. They're not going to just look like a drone. That's a government thing that you're seeing, or an agency thing. So galactic, angelics, Sirians, Pleiadians, Arcturians, Lyrans, even reptilians are going to come in the form of an energy frequency. And all you do is you just open up to this frequency and you tune in your heart to the frequency of love. And then you can connect with these different frequency beings that actually want to come in and help you. And, in fact, when I do retreats here in Hawaii, I have a Syrian healing team that I always ask to come in, and inevitably my clients who come here for retreats have direct contact with my Syrian healing team, and they get this whole rainbow light code reinstalled in their body. It's a whole thing, and inevitably they'll wake up in the morning and be like, something really strange happened to me last night. Yeah, how was it? And they'll be like, it was the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. It was incredible. It was filled with love and light and rainbows. But they've never had contact like that before. So all that to say that we're opening up to the fact that we are in a galaxy of beings, and some of them positive and loving, and some of them maybe not so much. It's very similar to Earth. We have people that are connected to Source and know that they're here to transmit love, and then we have some folks that have no idea and they're really disconnected and kind of unconscious, even though their blinkers are open. And so at the end of the day, we have all spectrums of energy, just like your TV, if you still have one, has all spectrums of channels. And so you get to choose the energies you want to tune into. And those galactic energies are starting to flood the planet. And it's because we're finally at a place where there's a collective consciousness that says, yes, we're ready. Yes, we can handle it. Yes, please help us. And that's, in fact, one of the ways that I started working with the Syrian healing teams. Is I got really sick in 2022, and I was like, I need something that I don't have access to here on the planet. And I would go out in the night sky and I would look up at Pleiades and Sirius, and I would just say, you guys, I need your help. Please work with me. I'm asking for you to come and work with me and help me heal my body. And then one morning I woke up and I was shown how to connect through this visioning process. And then the most loving beings of light came through. They started working on my body. They installed prisms into every single cell. They showed me this whole prisming process that I now teach in the Divine DNA Repatterning program. And it was really magical and totally transformative, and I got my health back. So all of that to say that you can call in your galactic family. You can ask to work with your galactic family. I'm getting questions from people all the time to help them connect with their galactic family. You might also be being called to connect with dolphins or whales, mermaids, unicorns, angels. Doesn't really matter, just connecting with that consciousness. And here's the secret tip. Just like if you wanted to get on my calendar, you have to set aside time to do it. These beings are loving and they're not going to just invade your space. You have to ask and request, and you have to set aside time. So it is very rare that a being of light will just show up in your world unless you are in a life and death situation. Okay. And so one of the reasons why my clients get it here is because I've requested their presence. And then I ask my client, would you like this? And when they say yes, then the energy can come in, but not before. And the last energy, recoding the new earth frequency. So in April, you might feel very guided to take a retreat, to go in a retreat, to go someplace very spiritual, to go visit a new land that holds the frequency of the new earth. You're being guided to anchor in that frequency, and it really wants to work with you in the next months to come. If you don't already have this on the schedule in April, don't worry. You can set your intention to help to recode to the new earth frequency. So the new earth frequency, by the way, is really based with different models of success. There's different things that we do in new earth that we don't do in the old earth. Old earth was based in scarcity and lack and fear. And, if you saw a moose, you have to be afraid of it because it can charge you. Versus the new earth, where if you see a moose, you just understand, oh, I'm going to take my space, they're going to take their space, and I'm going to send lots of love. And this animal is not going to do anything negative because that's not what we do. So you're not in the fear program anymore. In the new earth frequencies, we are releasing survival driver programs. So one of the things that we talk about in the Divine Light Energy Healers Academy is survival drivers live in the body, embedded in the DNA. And we have these safety locks and survival drivers that for thousands of years have kept us from asking questions have kept us from doing our soul's mission, have kept us in cycles of domination and subjugation, of victim, victor, of all of these things that really don't work for us. They've kept us in cycles of, do I appear to be successful or do I have soul satisfaction? And we haven't really even been in the soul satisfaction mode. That hasn't even been a question on the table for thousands of years. And so that's starting to come online. What does soul satisfaction look like to you? What does it look like to you to be in true harmony with your soul? You're going to be recoding to this new earth frequency. You're going to be going places where the land actually helps you to recode to the new earth frequency. You're going to be given some really cool tools. In fact, in April, you're going to get access to more and more tools that are going to help you bring that new earth frequency online. By the way, we have a lot of frequency medicine tools. I use them all the time. This is one I love. It's Sacred Awareness from Lotus Way. I'll pop a link below. Yes, I am an affiliate for them. And they have so many frequency medicine tools that just help you shift your frequency. It helps to dissolve old frequencies that don't work with you anymore and helps you to magnify those frequencies that do want to work with you based on the plant's frequency and the plant's awareness. And we're starting to understand all this. You might also be given healing tools. I was given a technology. It's a wearable patch on your body, and I'm trying it out right now. And in fact, the first day I tried out this patch, I put it on my body. I had so much energy that at 10:30 at night, I thought, oh gosh, how am I going to sleep tonight? I'm not really sure how I'm going to sleep tonight. I have such a surge of energy. So, and it's based on photonic light and bouncing the body's light back into the body and creating certain peptides that turn on growth hormones and stem cells. So we're about to come into a time when we're going to have incredible access to technologies through frequency medicine and all of these things that are going to help your body to heal and help your body to reprogram and repattern. And really, we're moving into this new earth frequency where we can heal our bodies, where we can heal our nervous systems, and where we can heal the old traumas that our ancestors did not understand how to heal. We're clearing those out. And that's a big part of what's been happening on the planet is we're in this collective trauma purge from the DNA, from the genomes. So it's a lot, okay? It's a lot to do. And for those of you who've been doing this maybe since 2012, maybe since 2017, for sure since 2020 and 2022, you've been knowing, okay, I've got these traumas, I've got to clear it out. But these traumas were there for thousands of years. They were handed down and imprinted in your genome. And so part of what we're doing is we're re-imprinting the new earth frequency to come back into divine human in physical form. That means clear and free DNA that isn't stamped with all of the old outdated programs. So it's been a lot. It feels like a lot because it is a lot. The frequencies here on the planet are being amped up all the time. And we are being called to really decide what frequencies we want to be. So here's a couple tips and takeaways and key codes for you this month. Do a full soul audit. Ask yourself, what works for me now? Maybe you built that business, maybe it doesn't align for you. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a housing situation, maybe it's a health situation. What does your body need now? What does your soul need now? Yes, the past is the past. In this moment, what is your soul calling you to? What feels aligned for you now? What pivots and shifts do you need to make to become your highest frequency, your highest vibration? Then ask yourself, what ways of being are no longer sustainable? One of the things I've noticed both in myself and in my clients are a lot of habituated thought patterns and habituated things that we do with our day. For example, are you scrolling too much? Are you on the internet too much? Are you in front of your computer too much? Becoming the new is a lot about letting go of the old stuff that we're not going to do anymore. So really take a look at that. What are the things that do not light you up? What are the things that don't serve your highest frequency? Are you doing a lot of doom scrolling on the internet? Are you looking at even things that seem positive, like, oh, am I looking at the Schumann resonance today for the reasons why I feel terrible? Okay, that's a form of doom scrolling. So instead, what you could do is recognize, oh, I don't feel good today. Let me check in and see why that is. What's happening that I don't feel good? And then what is my body asking me to do? Does it need more movement? What does my mind need? What do my emotions need to shift my frequency? Do I need a hug? Do I need to go listen to the birds? Do I need to pick up the weights and do a quick, what I call one set? Do I need to do a quick one set and just boost my energy or shift it? How can you be in harmony and harmonics with the new earth frequency? What things need to actually shift and change for you? What things in your life? How do your relationships need to change in order to match your current frequency and even the next level frequency of you? You know, something that we're being shown this month, again, back to one of those first energies, is those choice points. And so your new frequency now has been upgraded. So you're going to have to go and really take a look. Ooh, is this person in alignment with my new frequency? I'm not saying you have to kick everybody out of your life. Definitely, when you're in a higher frequency, you don't need to do that. But you do want to see, what resonates with me now? What things resonate with me now? It's ultimately about reorganizing yourself to match the new higher frequency coming through that you're choosing to align with. Okay, gorgeous friends, I'd love to know what most resonated with you today. Pop your comments below. I love hearing from you. I read every single comment and respond to each and every one myself. So it just means the world to me when you do it. And it also really helps me. It helps this channel when you like, when you comment, and when you share this video with somebody who needs it. So please give it a share. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can get updated when we make new videos. Okay, I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for being here at this time. Thank you for being a new earth leader of light. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.